Welcome back to The Road to Inspire. I am your host, Shanice Hemphill. I have a very special guest on with me today, all the way from Canada. It is Abby Basil. Now, I have to give you guys the backstory how me and Abby met. We met in this, there used to be a group until it was hacked recently, African Americans in Ecuador, and it was the kindest group that I seen for Ecuador specifically. But we met in that group and just kind of, hey, I'm in Cuenca, want to meet up? Let me know. And so I was in Cuenca. I was in Cuenca for 5 weeks. Me and Abby, we got a couple times that we spent some time together. Abby is the person, you guys, who showed me how to get my phone, how to get my SIM card for my phone. We pretty much did some random stuff, which is also in, I think, probably the first, second, or third of my YouTube videos, where we are just going around Ecuador and just on the streets, walking around when everything wasn't in such a big scare as far as the pandemic is concerned. Then we ended up, though, the first day that we met each other and hung out, we ended up meeting up with a guy named Danny, which we didn't know who he was, random stranger. Abby asked him a question. He spoke English because he's actually Ecuadorian and from Ecuador, but currently lives in Michigan. So yeah, so Abby, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself after I told them all about how we met?
Awesome. Thank you, Shanice, for even having me here today. My name is Abby. I'm from Toronto, Canada, as Shanice has said. So my background is Trinidadian and Nigerian, and I'm born and raised in Canada, though, and I was traveling throughout Ecuador when I met Shanice. So a little bit about me is I love to travel. I love visiting different countries. I love learning about different cultures and have had an extensive, I'm very thankful to say, travel bucket list so far that I've been able to knock out. So I work in the youth shelter system here in Toronto, where I work in different youth shelters, assisting youth in a community development capacity. And I am also studying to become a teacher in Canada. So yay, education is my role. And my future goals is to potentially move abroad to teach school, like the primary school in another country, either at an American or Canadian school, so, or British. So that's kind of a little bit about me.
Now, how did you come to the decision to even go to Ecuador? Because you have been to Ecuador before, right?
Yes, I have. I had gone to Ecuador back in 2018 with my best friend. We went backpacking throughout South America. We started in Ecuador, ended in Colombia. And it was the fact that I found Ecuador to be really interesting and varied in just the cultures and even the scenery. Like you go to like the mountains and then you go to the coast. And the span of 8 hours was just like, whoa, that's different, right? So I decided to go back to Ecuador during the pandemic because, to be very honest, I was planning to go to Trinidad to visit my family, but because their borders were closed, I decided to return to Ecuador. And that's because it was a country I had already been to before, and it was an opportunity to explore more of the country and get a chance to actually experience the culture on a deeper level that I like to experience things when I'm traveling. Um, this time around. So that's kind of what brought me back.
That's cool. So when you came back to Ecuador in 2021, now were you by yourself or with a friend?
I was by myself. So the first time I went to Ecuador, we made friends with a couple that owns an English school in Quito, and they have children, and they're actually they're an interest. They're cute. So the mother is of Ecuadorian heritage, and the father is of Senegalese heritage. So we connected on like a African cultural basis.
Yeah.
And then I've been in contact with them. Like they've become like one of my close, like we're like cool friends, right?
Mhm.
So what ended up happening was I messaged them and I was like, hey, I don't mind coming back to your school to help teach some courses, work with your students. They're like, hey, yeah, sure, come. You can stay with us up in Quito. And that's how I actually ended up going back to Ecuador. And I was by myself this time around. And no shade, because I know you love your Cuenca, but coming from the cold, I'm not trying to stay in the cold. I'm so sorry to say that. And Quito, Cuenca, like that whole mountainous region,
Yeah.
it's a mountain. It is cold.
Yeah.
So I was there for about a month. And then after that, I was like, this is not doing it for me. Like, gotta go. Like, and I was like, I'm gonna go to the coast. And I ended up teaching classes online anyways for them. But I was in the coast. Like I was like, hey guys, hello from Manta or hello from Guayaquil. And they're like, are you coming back to Quito? And I'm like, I don't know, maybe like later on. Cause it was cold.
Yeah.
Cold. And as a Canadian, I'm saying that from the perspective that in Central America, not Central, in South America, although they have cold climates, because it's not as cold, like central heating in a house is not common to find. So for me, it's even more cold because when I was there and I was telling people it's cold, they kept looking at me like, but you're from Canada. I'm like, but we have car warmers. We have remote starters. We have a heated garage. I have heated flooring. I have heat in my house. You don't have this. I would never do what you guys are doing
Yeah.
there. Like, here. No.
Now, see, for me, well, yeah, I understand your perspective totally, but it wasn't, I guess, as bad. I was, you know, because I enjoy city, I enjoy the vibe of the city. So I enjoy Cuenca and how safe it felt. And that was a really big thing. But you have a favorite city. So it wasn't Quito, it wasn't Manta, it wasn't Cuenca. What's your favorite city?
Well, I love the heat and I love busy places. So my favorite city was Guayaquil.
Okay.
So I like Guayaquil, and I know when I recommended it to you, and you were like, you texted me, you're like, I think you said you're on the wrong side of Chicago or something.
Yeah, 100% wrong side.
You were like, where's this place? And when you showed me where you were, I remember being like, I wouldn't even go to that part. That was, I don't know. I like, for me, my favorite city in Ecuador is Guayaquil, and that's because it is busy. And coming from Toronto, I crave that busyness. It's like I crave that diversity that I see in Guayaquil, well, that I saw in Guayaquil, that unfortunately for me, I didn't get a chance to see that much in Quito and also in Cuenca. Like just even diversity of the different cultures that are present in Ecuador, you see that captured in Guayaquil. And you see that represented in a lot of the different things that they do, like whether it's a restaurant, whether it's like you're going to a part of the city and it's a community, like it's vibrant and it's present. I remember in Quito, one of my biggest problems that not problems, I wouldn't say it's a problem. One of the things that raised a kind of concern for me was as a person of color, like you kind of want to look for other people of color just to like, see how the cultures in the diaspora relate to each other. And I was struggling to find that in Quito. I struggled. Like I was just like, I remember there was like one lady, she was on the bus, it's like she was I'm believing she's like Afro Latina. And I was trying to talk to her and she's just like, oh yeah, like I'm just here for work. But I live in Esmeraldas. And I was like, oh, what's going on in this place? But in Guayaquil, you have that there. I met people of all different places. And you also have a lot of immigrants there too, where you get a chance. Like I got bubble tea in Guayaquil, and I love bubble tea. Yeah, like I went down to this part near the like downtown by the Bahia, like near the market area, and I was able to like get bubble tea. I was able to eat like different foods and
Mhm.
stuff like that. And that's to me what really captivated Guayaquil for me. If I was to think about a place that I liked in Guayaquil the most, it would have to be Isla Santai. I liked going there because it really showed the environmental efforts that the city's trying to take. So it's like it's an island off of the coast of Guayaquil, but you can walk to it and you can go biking there and you can like see alligators and all these different things. Yeah, it's really nice. And there's a
Really?
community that lives there, but this community is big on environmentalism, and
Mm.
they purposely don't live in the city to highlight their environmental efforts, and they're very big
Mm.
on communal living. And
Now,
I
where,
noticed the same thing.
what's the name of this city again, or
It's in
area?
Guayaquil. It's called Isla Santai. So Isla Santai. So like you can like walk across there and it's really beautiful. Like that place was really nice. And
Mhm.
the other thing I liked about it is that it really represented the flora that you can see in Guayaquil, because it teaches you all about like the different plants that are there, just also some of the plants that are in Ecuador in general, but you were able to like learn about the different plants, the different trees, and some of the trees, the names of the trees are what the neighborhoods are named after. So I
Mm.
was like, oh, like it's
Yeah.
really, I liked it, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I liked Guayaquil a lot.
Now, tell me about some of the foods that you had while in Guayaquil and some of your favorites, because food is a big thing.
No, that's no problem. So in terms of food, I liked eating bolon in Guayaquil. I also like the tigrillo and I like their ceviche. Uh, Like those are my top three. Like I'm running to eat this kind of food.
Mhm.
So bolon, for those who don't know, it's kind of like green banana, or like it's not necessarily green banana, it's like very ripe plants, not ripe, young plantain, because riper plantain is sweeter. This is not sweet, it's more on the savory side of plantain, and like it's mixed with like cheese, or you can put meat in it, and it's like rolled up. I don't know if they fry this, I think they might fry it, but if it's fried, it's like quick fried, it's not like deep fried crunchy. No, like
Yeah.
it's like it's put together. And I think they use an egg to hold it together too. And I liked it because, coming from my background, um, it reminded me a lot of traditional foods that I eat, right? Like especially the plantain, or like that green banana like taste.
Mhm.
And it fills you. And I didn't feel bad eating it. I didn't feel like I was on a cheat date or whatever, because I'm
Right.
like, there's protein, there's vegetables, there's
Yeah.
a fruit. I don't know. Like I was just like, yeah, this is not bad for you. Totally. And then the tigrillo is kind of again like mashed green banana. And then they cook like an egg and they put it over, and there's like cheese, and then there's like meat and stuff. So a tigrillo is like an open faced bolon. That's how I would describe it. And I love that because again, like I was into it. I don't really like bread and rice that much, ironically enough. So foods like that, I'm like, that's good. And their ceviche was also really good. Because I found it was different. Like, and
Mhm.
the ceviche I had, I'm not gonna say everybody's ceviche was the same, but the
Mhm.
ceviche I had, I ordered it and it had like peanut butter with it, and I've never tried that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
odd.
like you mix it into the sauce, and I was just like, oh, this is different. Sounds gross, but it was not bad. It was really good, and I understood why they did it, because like ceviche has like a tang to it, right? And
Mhm.
then now you have like this sweet and salty that peanut butter brings to it. So kind of like
Oh
it
my
was
goodness.
it was I liked it. I liked it. It was good.
So, so did you find, so is it in Guayaquil, like you remember how we were, like you were able to eat street food in Cuenca? So is there a lot of that in Guayaquil? Like, give me some prices on things that you thought were like steals of a deal compared to, I'm sure, US and Canada, of course.
Yeah, like definitely. The street food, definitely there's street food there. Like that bologna thing I'm telling you about, that's a street food. And for me, like the steals I saw in Guayaquil, just in Ecuador in general, is like the fact that you can spend $4 or $5 and get like for lunch specifically, or like the idea that you can spend $3 in Guayaquil, you can spend almost like $3. And for lunch, you're getting soup, rice, meat, salad, a drink. I'm like, this is a whole like 3-course meal that in Canada that will just buy you a McDonald's junior chicken meal if you're lucky.
Yeah.
It's not, and that doesn't do anything for you. That's just straight junk food. Like when you think about it, it's like, I don't know, that doesn't fill you, you know?
Exactly.
So that's what I liked about Guayaquil. I like that I had that opportunity to experience that affordability in food.
Yeah.
Also, like groceries was cheap, organic food. Like I cooked during my trip. So like being able to go to the market and buy like $10, 10 US dollars, you're walking out with like your whole all your fruits, all your vegetables,
Mhm.
your some of your grains, like a little
Mhm.
like rice, like a little bag of rice that you can handle as a single person. Maybe if you're lucky, you were able to get some kind of like eggs or like some protein in there, $10.
Yeah.
And it's all fresh, all organic. Canada, absolutely. Toronto, no, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not getting that for $10.
Yeah.
Two, two bags of like lemons, a bag of lemons and a bag of limes is $5 here. That's what you're getting for $10. Lemons and limes.
I guess that's what we've seen, like, especially during the pandemic. I know in 2020, and then even in like towards the end of 2020 through 2021, we've seen this mass exodus of people and even celebrities now who are leaving the US because, I mean, celebrities, they have their own reasons, but I do understand like the amount of money we pay for the simplest things. Oh my goodness, it's so much cheaper and so much affordable. I know my biggest thing while there, because I did see a doctor when I was there, like even right now, I scheduled an appointment with my doctor here in Wisconsin, and she's booked all the way to the middle of January. I won't see that doctor till January 19th. So is it worth it for me to try and find and search for another really good doctor that I know that I can trust? To hopefully get in? Well, when I was in Manta, I seen a doctor, paid $40. She messaged me. We were able to chat through WhatsApp. If I asked her one question, she just getting ready to pick up the phone and call. Because I remember one time I asked her a question. I said, well, is this that? She just hurried up and called me, the actual doctor, not her nurse. So that was one of the big things there. What are some unique things that you did or paid for or was afforded in Guayaquil or even being in Ecuador that maybe not in the US as opposed to just groceries or that you even seen?
So one thing I would say here in Canada, like the flexibility and the ability to travel throughout their country and how cheap and affordable it is. As a Canadian, that hit home. In Canada, we are a big country. No one's gonna deny it. It takes 3 days to drive, not even halfway across the country. You're just going to the middle. Um, but it's expensive to travel here. On a good day, you can maybe catch a flight for $300 round trip. Yeah, on a good day. But average price, like right now, I'm out west. This would be a $500 round trip flight, no baggage included.
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes, yeah, some of our airlines don't include baggage. It's like premium economy now. So like
Oh my gosh.
there's those little things. Taxes, I'm on the fence about taxes. I'm on the fence with taxes because like here in Canada, like I see my taxes work for me. But like when I'm able to go to a store, and like when I was in Ecuador, it was nice to not really think too much about taxes when it came to buying like materialistic things, like things like clothing or like even your phone or your chips and stuff like that, that I didn't mind. And the biggest savings, anyone who's from Canada will tell you that when you go abroad, no matter where it is, I swear, even when we come to the States, we realize we're being duped here. Your phone bill, your
Yeah.
phone bill. Like in Ecuador, I'm paying, what was it? I think I paid maximum 30 US dollars.
Mhm.
And I was able to have 10 gigabytes of data. My phone was free all the time. Like I
Yeah.
didn't think like data, and I never thought of that. Here in Canada, I pay $50, and that's me like yelling at them on the phone to get it to that level. But the average person, like in Canada, will pay around 70 to $80 a month for their cell phone bill. And that just doesn't, that gives you 5 gigabytes of data.
Yeah.
Like
Now
there's
see,
nothing.
now when you helped me get the Claro card, that SIM card, and my phone switched over, I think that was just $5.
Mm-hmm.
That was $5 and that lasted me a month. I
Yeah.
didn't have to do a refill on that until 4 weeks later.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I did good. I was streaming and everything. I wasn't streaming excessively because I didn't use a whole lot of data, but still I was able to get calls and go live while walking around Cuenca or being out in the
Exactly.
city. So
Mm-hmm. And that's something that, those are the small little things that we take for granted when we're in the Western world, right? That we don't see, like, that's where your money's, sorry, that's where your money's sometimes like going towards. It's like,
yeah.
like fleeting from your hand, just buying these small little
Yeah.
things. In terms of healthcare, one thing I did enjoy, like, there is the ability to go to the pharmacist and just ask, like, tell them what's wrong with you,
Mhm.
and them giving you the necessary medication. Like here in Canada, like you definitely need to get your prescription. It's sometimes like sometimes it's covered, sometimes it's not. Like, you know, like you might run into that issue, but for the most part, I liked that. I like that ease. I will say though, and this is again because of differences in systems, um, for me personally, I was hesitant to really use their healthcare system, and that's because of like not understanding certain things, and like coming from here where we do have a good healthcare system here in Canada. I'm not gonna hide behind like I
Yeah.
try to always act humble about it. I'm like, no, we're good. Right. But it's
Mhm.
something you do think about, and something that I did consider, and I do consider when I'm thinking about moving abroad, is that I need to be in a system that is gonna mirror something that I have here in terms of like ease. And for me, when I was in Ecuador, I believe it for me was mainly the language barrier. It made it
Mhm.
kind of hard. And also, I did walk in, unfortunately, like I have to admit, like with certain stereotypes of like, it's developing, is their medicine up
Yeah.
to date?
Yeah.
Is it gonna be as modern? Because I'm spoiled here. Like here, like I walk in, like they're like, here you go, here's this, take this.
Yeah.
And like I'm just like, yeah, of course they're gonna do that for me, right? But
Yeah.
like there, I remember I got sick and I had to go to the doctor, and someone wanted to like a friend of mine was referring me to go to a clinic. I remember I walked in the clinic, I walked right out because I'm like, no, that clinic does not look like
Yeah.
that clinic looks kind of, no, that's not,
Yeah.
absolutely not. Right. But yeah, those are my own,
Now,
those,
see, I had the opposite with
yeah,
because Canada, do you guys get free medical benefits or how does that
yeah,
work? Okay,
it's
see,
completely, yeah,
in the
it's
US, no, ain't nothing free, nada. You coming out
yeah,
your pocket for everything. So
yeah.
when I went to Ecuador, of course, and then I got these from a reference too, from other people who were expats or who had recently moved from the US too. So a lot of mine were referrals of people who were bilingual. They were Ecuadorian as well as they spoke English. So, you know, the doctor,
Mhm.
anything that was confusing, the doctor would use Google Translate to translate what she was saying. So
Mhm.
but the doctor that I seen, she spoke English, and then the other doctor that I seen, she spoke some English, and she used
Mhm.
Google Translate for that. So I had a good experience, and even the dentist, I got my teeth cleaned.
Mhm.
So that went really well, and it was very modern. Like both of the, like all the doctors that I've seen, they were all in modern buildings,
Mhm.
and it was pretty clean. So
How much was it to do that there?
I think to get my teeth cleaned, if I can remember, and I did a breakdown in one of my other videos, but I think it was like $35 or something. And
Yeah,
then
no.
I had some x-rays and stuff done too, from the physical doctor, and I was like $40. Now in the US, some freaking x-rays would have been, I can't even imagine. I,
Well, for us here, unless you have extended health benefits, um, once you're past the age of 17, like dentistry is no longer free. So
mm,
that is something I would be interested whenever I return to explore because yeah, here it's about like 70, 80, 100, 200. Yeah, you're going to the dentist and like the dentist will clean your teeth to what you can afford. Like, yeah, they bill it by hours. Yeah. They'll be like,
oh
oh,
my
like, so
gosh.
it's another amount of hours to get this next, like, treatment. And you have to be like,
Oh
oh, yeah,
my
this is like the
gosh.
first level treatment. And it's like, yeah. But that's if you don't have like coverage. And then
Yeah.
also here for our coverage, like, it's like if you're a student in university, usually your university will give you coverage. But again, you have to see if they're if they do direct billing, if they don't, like there's a whole
Yeah.
lot of like, I don't want to enter that zone of
Yeah.
life. Like,
So now, do you have any plans of returning to Ecuador this year, or anytime soon, I should say, since we're at the end of 2021?
yes, I do. I actually am organizing a trip to go to Ecuador in February and then again in the summertime. And what I'm doing is I'm working with my friend to do tours to Ecuador, and we are going to be exploring the diaspora of Ecuador, specifically like the Afro-Ecuadorian diaspora, like the different cultures, and also doing some extreme sports and stuff. So I'm really excited for that. Um, I'm excited to go to Banos. We're planning to go ATVing while I'm there, and like that's something that's like really expensive to do here. I'm going to Ibarra this time. Hopefully, I'll get a chance to go to Loja. And in the summertime, we want to go to the Amazon. And that's one thing I would say I will always love about Ecuador is that it is small enough
Yeah.
and it has all of like so many different places, so many different things to do in one small area. It's not like you're feeling like you have to travel like 20 hours, 30 hours, or 19 hours or to
Yeah.
go certain places. Like just to go from like the top of the north to the south, you're probably going to spend maybe 10 to 11 hours maximum. And
Okay.
that's not bad
Yeah.
when you feel like for me, that's not bad. This is coming from someone who like lives in a country where it takes 3 days just to get to the central part. So it's
Yeah.
not bad. So yeah.
So how can, like, if people want to be a part of or want more information on future trips that you are planning to visit Ecuador, like, how can people follow you guys? I know you just started an Instagram page.
Mhm.
How can they get in touch with you?
So you can definitely get in touch with us at Looku Tours. So that's LOOKU Tours on Instagram. And for those who are like wondering, like, what does that mean? It's a Nigerian like slang term that means come and see. So when someone says, "Oh, Looku, like come and see, like look over
Yeah.
there," kind of thing like that. So we wanted to twist it with our culture. Um, so definitely can do that, or you can email us at lukulukutravels@gmail.com. So those are the best ways to get in touch with us. Our site will be up and running in January, and then you'll be able to like just look us up online. but right now, Instagram and email are the best ways to reach us.
Okay. Now, you spoke about a Cuenca, Guayaquil, Manta, Quito. Are there any other places that you have been to in Ecuador, or yeah, any other places that you've been to that stick out to you?
I went to Olon on the coast, and I went
Mhm.
to Ancon, where I did a beach cleanup there, and Ancon was really nice. I liked again how it was like its own little world in another world because it's
Mhm.
like a different culture. That was my first time trying tacos from Ecuador. They're like Ecuadorian style tacos. So that was interesting, and like it's totally different from Mexican tacos. Like it's like in a glass shape, it's filled with
Really?
lots of meat, lots of like beans and cheese. But like I was like, okay, this is good. Like I might prefer it to Mexican tacos, not gonna lie. Um, so I went there, and also I went to Esmeralda's, and I enjoyed my time in Esmeralda's a lot because you got a chance to see that Afro-Ecuadorian culture. You were able to like try anything that had encocado, like anything that has like coconut milk in it. So, and I love seafood, so they did a lot of like seafood dishes with coconut milk, or you had like rice made with coconut milk, and like it
Mhm.
was just really good. I enjoyed going to that part. Yeah, those are the places that I really enjoyed
Okay.
being in, like other
It's
places I've been to.
it's so much to see in Ecuador. It's like then when I come back, I mean, of course, I mean, I was just being nomadic and I just went and said, I'm going to, Cuenca. But even after coming back, even some of the comments that I had of people who had visited Ecuador, they were giving tips like, you should go see this place and that place, and here's the link. And which is so cool because it's so much to see and so much to do in Ecuador when you get tired of the US or wherever you're from or you go and visit, definitely. So anything else you want to add, Abby, before we close out?
Just one thing I'll definitely add is like if you get a chance to go there, just be free and remember it's very affordable to travel within the country.
Yeah.
So definitely don't be scared to take the bus. A lot of people might get scared to take the bus. Don't be scared to take the bus. The bus is your friend there. And yeah, just make sure you explore it very well. One biggest tip I can give people is like knowing your bank and the fees is important. PayPal is your best friend because they do have a system there where if you are like down on luck, you can send money to your PayPal. Like, say you lose your bank card or something, definitely send money to your PayPal and then do like a mobile money situation where you can like send it to like one of those mobile people and then withdraw the money for yourself, kind of thing like that. So yeah, that's kind of like, yeah, those are my ending
Okay.
words. And again, thank you for having me. It was really nice.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. And can you give that Instagram account again? What is the name of it?
Okay, the Instagram account is Looku. So that's LOOKU tours, TOURS, on Instagram. So at Looku tours. And our email is Travels. So again, LOOKU travels@gmail.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It was amazing.
Well, I'm sure we'll talk again, but safe travels as you go in February. And do you know how long you're staying?
I have to be back by March, but I'll be gone for just under a month. But I'm planning to go back out again in the summertime. So
Okay, cool. All right, safe travels. Thanks again. Take care.
thanks so much. Bye, Shanice. Take care. Enjoy. Stay warm.
Yes.
All right. Bye.